hell are your gauntlets? You got brass knuckles on as well? Oh, you know what? We gotta go with that as well. It just sort of fits our character, and especially our deep, smooth voice, right? So, you're impressive. Plus, that can be a friendly thing.
When I need to be.
Yeah, she approves.
You flatter me.
I'm trying.
Did I do the right thing? What I have set in motion here could destroy everything I have revered my whole life. One day they may write about me as a traitor, a madwoman, a fool, and they may be right.
He's just there smiling about her going through an absolute mental breakdown. Fantastic. What do you believe?
What does your faith tell you?
I believe you are innocent. I believe more is going on here than we can see. And I believe no one else cares to do anything about it. They will stand in the fire and complain that it is hot. But is this the Maker's will?
I like that.
I can only guess.
You don't think I'm chosen?
You don't think I'm the Herald of Andraste?
I don't think I'm the fucking Herald of Andraste.
I hope you were. But the Maker's help takes many forms. Sometimes it's difficult to discern who it truly benefits, or how.
And what happens next?
What's going to happen now?
Now, we deal with the Chantry's panic over you before they do even more harm. Then we close the breach. We are the only ones who can. After that, we find out who is responsible for this chaos, and we end them. And if there are consequences to be paid for what I have done, I pay them.
Fantastic camera angle. Good job, game.
I only pray the price is not too high.
I always wanted a close-up on that fucking... Not wicker, I forget what it's called. Oh no! No! Oh god, my brain is really not functioning. What's it called? Like sack. Those sack things. Burlap! There you go. Is that in any kind of way right? I have no idea. You had to do it, right? There was not really any other way.
Didn't I? My trainers always said, Cassandra, you are too brash. You must think before you act.
Everyone else sided with you. You must have done the right thing, right?
I see no point in running around in circles like a dog chasing its tail. But I misjudged you in the beginning, did I not? I thought the answer was before me, clear as day. I cannot afford to be so careless again.
You changed your mind. You didn't fucking kill me. You even let me carry weapons, despite being a dangerous prisoner. You had cause.
It wasn't like you had no reason to suspect me.
I was determined to have someone answer for what happened. Anyone.
And I nearly got executed for it. Yay!
You've said you don't believe you're chosen. Does that mean you also don't believe in the Maker?
I believe in elven gods. Do I? Or are we just some... I don't know if... do I want to play as a... It's a fantasy universe, which means gods can potentially exist, obviously. But... do I want my dude to believe in the elven gods? It might help us down the line with some kind of keeper magic. Why not? Elven gods. Hell yeah.
I'm Dalish. I believe in our own gods.
And there's no room among your gods for one more? I suppose
nope,
it doesn't matter now. I have to believe we were put on this path for a reason, even if you do not. Now it simply remains to see where it leads us.
I hate the idea of fate so much. I've explained it before in many, many other videos, but I just can't fucking stand it. I hate the idea that everything is already set out, so your actions mean fuck all, because they were going to happen anyway.
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
Because then what is the point in life? It's basically just like watching a goddamn movie. Everything is already set out. You have no control over everything. The idea of fate is so unbelievably boring. I don't understand how it's comforting to anyone, but I guess that makes, makes some people happy, so go for it, people who believe in fate. I don't know, I don't know. I feel like if fate was a thing, it would just be the most depressing thing in the world, you know? So, you don't know where I'm from.
I hear that.
I suppose I could ask Liliana. She has collected a frightening amount of information on you. But I don't want to. I want to hear it from you.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to her.
My
Where am
clan
I
never
from?
stayed in one place for long, so we primarily roamed the Three Marches.
Oh? I didn't think your people roamed that far north. But clearly I'm mistaken. I'm told some members of your clan might still be alive. Do you intend to go back?
Well, I mean, the thing is, with Firion, I wanted to go back and at least see them, right? And just let them know I'm doing okay. Let them know that I am the hero of Ferelden. And then they eventually did come to sort of my coronation ceremony, and it was the coolest shit. But here we don't actually know our clan. We've received a letter from them, so I don't know. The origin story isn't quite as cool. Eventually, perhaps, I guess, is the most apt answer out of all of these, because I have no idea who they are, so we gotta go with the most non-committal answer possible.
Once this is done.
It will not be the same once you do.
Oh, great. Well, that's fucking reassuring. Tell me about yourself.
You would?
Isn't that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
We're gonna be working together for fucking ever. Like, why wouldn't I? I might as well. She will disembowel me if we then cut this off. But I might as well, you know, at least use it to buff some approval ratings for a little while. And I'm not against it. I really like Cassandra as a character so far. She's fucking awesome.
Is there any harm in us becoming a little closer?
Plenty.
That was also very friendly. Disapproves.
Is that right?
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pendergast, daughter of the royal
Such
house
a cool
of
name.
Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran throne. I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. And here we are. That's all there is to know, my lord.
So, I think I heard that right. I wasn't looking at the subtitles, and it's really, I'm gonna try and fix it in editing with like EQ and shit, but it's really hard to hear the voice lines for me right now because of the screeching boys in the background and constant clash of metal on metal. So it's really hard for me to hear shit. I'm gonna try and boost that or something and make dialogue a lot more obvious and up in the mix, but it's gonna be kind of hard to do that anyway. So you guys probably hear it more than me. But did she just say she is 78th in line for the throne? Or did she just say 8th? 78th is insane! How many babies are you firing out? Jesus, Navarra! You're Navarran royalty. We didn't know this, but still.
The Pendergasts are a very large clan. Half of Cumberland could say the same.
Really?
No, but it feels that way. I have
Rapid
hundreds
fire
of
fucking
relatives so
birthing.
distant they need charts to prove we're related at all. And they have them. Oh yes. The Pendergasts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
You're not a fan of them then, huh? Is that why you left Navarra?
You joined the Seekers to get away from that.
It was a life worth getting away from. The
sounds like
Pendergasts
it.
are famed for dragon hunting. But
Oh, hell yeah! Except also leave those poor dragons alone.
most are fat and lazy. They pay lip service to the Maker and care only for idle pleasures and past glories. My brother was all that kept me in Navarra. Once he was gone, so was I.
Did he die or leave? What happened to your brother?
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
Understandable. Tell me about Navarra.
Like your homeland.
My family polluted it for me. What little I saw of my homeland was through the bars of a gilded cage. My uncle treated me like a porcelain doll to be placed on a shelf and dusted only when necessary. Thus,
Which
I
is
did
why
not
you
see
ripped
Navarra,
half your fucking face
the
off?
real Navarra, until much later. By then, I realized I knew it not at all.
What about your parents?
Uncle. What about your parents?
They had the misfortune of taking the wrong side in the second attempt to overthrow King Marcus. The king
Oh,
executed
good.
them, but spared my brother and I since we were family, and children at the time. Thus we were raised by my uncle, a mortalitasi who preferred the company of his corpses to the living.
Mortalitasi, like a coroner? Or just, you know, morgue worker or something?
A death
Never even heard of that.
He still is.
Oh!
My countrymen do not
Oh,
burn the dead.
damn!
They bury them in special crypts. The Mortalitasi supervise the crypts, like priests. Uncle Vestalis oversees the grand necropolis. Nevarans spend more
So
time
cool.
honoring dead relatives than they do with living ones. It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings. I will never understand it.
So death magic is entirely different to blood magic now. Because I swear necromancy was a form of blood magic, or at least very, very related to the point where a lot of people just call it blood magic. Because I remember when people were raising I think Orsino raised corpses. No. Necromancy has definitely been mentioned, and then we've seen blood mages raise the dead. So, unless death magic does something very, very specific, then... I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out as we keep going. You work for the Divine, huh?
You were the right hand to the Divine.
To divine
Oh,
Justine,
I see.
yes. And divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position
How
is
old
normally
are you?
reserved
What?
for Templars of the Knights Divine. But my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short
I would
version
love to
is
hear.
that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
And what is a right hand, and why can't I ask about the damn
What
story?
does a right hand do exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons.
It wanks?
It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
You believed in her.
You thought you could really change things.
Justinian knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it.
How did you become a right
So
hand?
what's the story about you becoming the right hand?
Sweet Andraste, do you really want to hear that? It was, what, 18, 20 years ago? Some
How
still
old
discuss
are
it like
you?
it
What?
happened Yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
You're being
I'm
modest.
sure you're just being modest.
I was there. I think I know what happened. To hear others tell it, I alone saved Divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral. Rather impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say?
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart, and there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral, but I had help from loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They
Nice,
freed the
nice,
dragons
nice!
from
Somehow that
magical
makes it even
control.
cooler.
Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
Which means you're not actually going to hate mages, hell yeah! What became of the mages?
What happened to the mages that helped you?
They went back to their circles, with rewards and privileges and most holy gratitude. Many of them died at the contact.
Oh, great. Follow that up immediately with a "You're delightful." Don't laugh at the dead mages.
No,
What the
I
fuck,
do
dude?
not know that. I object. There is nothing delightful about me.
I beg to differ.
This is gonna take a long
I
time,
prefer
isn't
you
it?
in the stocks.
I'll let
Ah,
you
she's
back.
great. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get myself something to eat. And when we return, I think we can finally leave this hellhole. Oh my god, we have been here a while, but honestly, I've enjoyed every last second of it, and I hope you guys have too. There's gonna be a hell of a lot of dialogue in this game, but I love that. And it's just sort of something you gotta expect from a Bioware game, right? So, see you guys real soon. Mwah. And we are
Do you need
back. Let me just check once more with Cassandra and see if there's anything more we can actually say. There's tons more we can say. Did I
I
even
have
do
more
the
questions.
everything about
Why am I
herself
not
thing?
surprised?
I don't even know. What happened to your brother? Yeah, let's not keep prying on
Yes.
that. I don't think she's gonna be all that happy. She will never ever get a chance to hit this burlap boy ever again, will she? I'll tell me stop her every time. Tell me about the Seekers.
The Seekers of Truth were born from the original Inquisition long ago, when it united with the Church.
Oh, okay,
Seekers
cool.
stood above the Templars, watching
And they've
over
always
them, but
remained.
also investigating magical events they couldn't handle. We were meant to be incorruptible, above reproach. How seldom does reality match the ideal?
Well, I mean, how many of you... I haven't really seen any of you before. Are you actually like a really just corrupt order? Because you don't seem it to me, at least you personally. Oh, the Seekers rebelled. Okay, probably should have paid a little bit more attention there. But what are Seekers?
What are Seekers, exactly?
Those who know
Call out
anything
corruption in
about
the
Firion
Templars, right?
We do not use Lyrian, however. Our abilities are different,
Okay.
as was our original purpose. We disciplined the Templars and were accountable only to the Divine, and not even her, truthfully.
They did a bad job, so you led the Templars, then who watched you? So you led the Templars.
Seekers commanded the Templars?
No, the Order didn't assume command until after the rebellion.
Okay.
The Templars have always feared us. When a
Man, I
Seeker
can't believe I've never
arrived
really
at a
heard of them until
new trouble.
DA2.
That kind of power is troubling. You begin to think you are the only one who can solve the world's problems. If you don't see a problem, it doesn't exist. If someone insists it does, they are the blind ones.
And even then, I only really knew of their existence. They only really came into our... I don't really know what I'm trying to say. We only really knew of their existence until after the events of DA2, with, like, Varric telling the story and everything. Weird. So I guess they didn't show up until the rebellion whatsoever? They were just always working in the shadows? Because you are just sort of a big, brutish murder lady. You wouldn't expect you to be the stealthiest or, you know, working under wraps, undercover type people, right? Unless you're just working off in the distance where neither Firion or Hawke had any run-ins with them. Except, I guess, Leliana, could she technically be a Seeker, maybe, sort of, kinda? I don't really know how you'd consider that. Could that be
Do you think
fixed?
that kind of problem could ever be fixed?
Possibly. Though the Seekers themselves would need to change. They were clearly not willing to, even though they abandoned everything they stood for to avoid it. In my heart, I believe they can still be salvaged, but not by their own hands.
And what abilities do you have?
You mentioned that Seekers have different abilities than Templars.
Entirely. A Templar's abilities come from Lyrium and are designed to hunt mages. Ours
I mean,
come
not
from
entirely,
ritual
though,
and
right?
many years of dedicated training. We cannot be possessed by demons and are immune to mind control. Useful considering our role. Seekers can gain
You're
other
good,
gifts,
but I
that
wouldn't
depends on the
necessarily
individual.
rely on that. I've seen some very powerful bloody boys. What are your gifts?
Do you have?
I can set the lyrium within a person's blood aflame. Both mages
Oh, no!
and Templars bend this
Ow!
way. Some Seekers use it to interrogate, others simply to paralyze.
I
Once
never
there was a
want to see
Seeker
you
who
do that. That
used
is
it to
way
kill.
too much.
That particular gift is considered rare.
Oh, so all Seekers have the I'm going to melt your veins now fucking capabilities, huh? Remind me never to run into any more of you and to behead you the next chance I get. Thank you. How do you become a Seeker?
Most Seekers begin training in their youth. I was much older, an exception due to my noble birth. We train rigorously for years. Our bodies and minds must be elastic to undergo the vigil, and most fail even then.
Tell me what the vigil is.
Is the vigil
Man,
some kind of
it
initiation?
says that the
It is
star
the
icons
rite
are
every
rare.
Seeker
They're
must
like
go
every
through in
other
order to
one.
summon their gifts. A full year of fasting, prayer, and separation from all distractions, including other people. We empty ourselves of all emotion, focusing only on the purity
Shit.
of our devotion. And the moment it finally ends,
So you're the
it's wonderful.
tranquil equivalent for the
Faith
Templars.
realized. I cannot put it into words.
Do you return your fucking emotions? Because you don't seem completely dead inside to me. Maybe like 95%. There's something going on in there. That might just be immense horniness now that I've walked into the room. Was it magic?
Some kind of magic?
I don't fully understand.
I don't want to say it sounds wonderful, because it doesn't.
If the vigil was not so arduous, I'd say more should attempt it. What if mages never needed to fear possession by demons? I'm told it is impossible, however. I suppose I'll never know the truth of it now.
That's not impossible. There has to be a goddamn way, and I hope we discover an Inquisition. If not in, it's called Rise of the Dreadwolf, Blight of the Dreadwolf, something Dreadwolf is the next Dragon Age game, I'm pretty damn sure. At least that's the, working title that we've been given. Why did the Seekers rebel?
We originally united with the Chantry for a treaty that stated they would keep mages under control. It was felt that Holy had tacitly allowed the Circle of Magi to vote on its independence, thus breaking the treaty. The Seekers saw themselves as justified, and they led the Templars into a war of righteousness.
You disagree?
Sound like you disagree.
We knew what was happening at Kirkwall, where the Mage Rebellion began. We looked into reports of Knight Commander Meredith's harsh treatment of her charges years earlier. But we found so many shocking cases of magical corruption, it was decided her actions were justified.
But she was so much more corrupt than any of them, sorta.
It looked harder at the root causes.
I agree with you. Mages should be free. What am I agreeing with? The protection of the mages? I believe that the scary bad mages do not need to be rooted out, because obviously that's a part of freedom. You will always have criminals, you will always have big angry men who ruin it for everybody else, but at the same time, oh god, I don't want to say mages should be free to... You know what, fuck it, but not all mages. There should obviously be a prison system for them, like there is for, you know, everybody
Mages
else.
were oppressed. What else did you expect?
I expected us to do better. When faced with a problem, the Seekers would close ranks and crush it. We would find an answer, but only once we felt we weren't being coerced. The moment the mages voted for independence, our response was predictable. It was difficult to watch.
Enough talk for now, because I just made you hate me, but I had to hold on to my ideals. There's a lot more to ask you, isn't there? You're not allowed to beat up that man. Come on, leave him alone. Also, you're using a sword. How are you not cutting him to shreds? How are you this bad at being a warrior? Let's discuss the Chantry.
It is difficult to say what becomes of the Chantry now. They have no Templars, no leadership, and no one left who is worthy of succeeding the Divine. It has fallen apart when everyone needs it the most. I ache to think what this will mean in the days to come.
Will there be a new Divine?
Replace Divine Justinian?
They will try. Once the priests withdraw for the Grand Consensus, it is against Chantry.
Would anyone even want to be the Divine at this point?
Divine. Sometimes it takes
in such tumultuous times?
weeks, or even months. The problem now is that no clear successor to Justinia exists. All worthy clerics died with her at the conflict.
Every single one! Jesus! What if they don't agree?
If they can't agree on something.
Theoretically, they will argue until exhaustion takes them or they see reason. Practically, however, if the Grand Consensus goes on too long, the Chantry will crumble. Any cleric with ambition but little sense will see this as her one chance, and plenty of such clerics exist. We shall see what happens. The Inquisition must act in the meantime.
And you know your own damn religion's order is completely corrupt and you just still have to go along with it? Fucking hell. I mean, would you serve as a new Divine? What a weird question. It's nothing like her. Oh, right, no, I see what you mean. I thought you said serve as a new Divine.
I am a rebel now, remember? And even if she would, I do not know. It would depend on what type of Divine she is. I am no longer in a position to follow blindly, and no new Divine could expect such obedience now.
Should the Chantry be
You really
saved?
believe the Chantry is worth preserving?
I do. Though I understand how someone born outside of human society might think otherwise. Cast the Chantry aside and new problems replace old ones. We will have learned nothing from history. The people need stability, and the Chantry needs a new purpose. Andraste had a dream for us. It can still be achieved.
And what new purpose is that?
New purpose be?
A dedication to what is truly important. Instead of building cathedrals and sewing gowns for the divine, the Chantry used to spend its coin feeding the poor. If we are to spread the Maker's word across the world, we must do so with open hearts and open hands.
This does not seem like you at all. God damn. But you sound like an idealist, which isn't a bad thing.
Does it? I do not think it's so unachievable. The
If
Chantry
the
has
entire
many
world
good
was
honest
idealists, those
They just
ideals
need
would be
direction
achieved.
and
That's the
inspiration.
thing.
They need to be freed from centuries of adherence to tradition and ceremony. A chance for renewal is at our fingertips. It does not have to come with utter chaos.
But that also does sort of involve everyone being an idealist. Those idealists having the same idea. Yeah, there's a lot of fucking word that goes into that. Why not just kill everyone who doesn't agree? That works for me. Who is Chancellor Roderick?
Chancellor Roderick really real?
He's a bureaucrat, responsible for communicating the Divine's will to the rest of the Chantry. Therefore, he's accustomed to the clerics hanging on his every word, hoping his influence will benefit them. Despite that, Roderick is not a bad man. He's frightened, and believes his place is to fill the gap left by Most Holy's death. Some might agree. As far down the chain of command
Really?
as he is, there is no one left above him.
No one at all. Oh god, what the hell happened? Will he be a
How
problem?
big a problem could he be?
No more than he is already. He sent his message to the College of Clerics. That is the only card he had to play. Dealing with him further only lends him credibility he doesn't deserve.
I see. So why did you personally leave the
I'm
Chantry?
surprised you rebelled against the Chantry.
I left my own order when they took the wrong path. It is no different. But in neither case did I stop caring. Indeed, I care so much that I feel drastic action is necessary. I suppose history shall one day judge my actions.
Thank you.
That's all for now, girl. I really like Cassandra. She is really fucking cool. In fact, for once, for like the first time in Dragon Age, or Bioware games in general, one of the first companions they give you, not one of the first companions they give you, I consider entirely boring. This is insane. Or maybe Dragon Age Origins also didn't give us any boring, OG companions. I can't think of anyone who I would consider boring from Dragon Age Origins in general, actually. Like, the first companion you're given is Alistair, and I think Alistair is fucking great. I know a lot of people don't, they just think he's a big nerd, but I don't think that's the bad thing at all. That's just him, you know? Doesn't make him a bad character. There we go. Can we loot nugs? I should probably stop killing nugs. See, one thing that confuses me is I swear that we were told that nugs are a Deep Roads creature and, you know, don't really exist anywhere else. And, now literally every single area talks about nugs in Dragon Age 2, and now Ferelden is just full of nugs in, Inquisition. It's weird. I don't know. They do seem to just mess with the lore quite a lot, but I'm not going to complain. It's a very tiny detail. There we go. Maybe they just escaped the Deep Roads with all the surface-dwelling dwarves. Oh, what the hell is that? So much elf fruit! Yes! Oh god, I forgot to do the potion thing. Whatever. We'll have to go back to the, go back inside soon anyway. Oh, what? I can walk along this little frozen river? Dude, that is the coolest. Who the hell are these dudes? They look like Templars to me. Can I, like, set... Ooh, Storm Coast? What the fuck is any of this? This is so cool. There are reports of a small group of Grey Wardens traveling along the northern coast of Ferelden in an area known as the Storm Coast. Badass. Let's go to Haven. I'm a mark passing notes. Is that how that works? Yes, it is. Beautiful. Why have I marked 2? I don't want to mark 2. Stop being marked. Fuck off. Is it involved? I have no idea.
Very fade itself. Though they sang hymns.
Whoa, why is this all purple and shit?
Though they could do anything, they destroyed nothing, created nothing, loved nothing.
The fuck was any of that about? And why is this entire area of the map so purple? Oh, it's sort of giving me a place that I'm meant to be looting? Or searching for the notes or whatever? That makes it really fucking ominous. Jesus, I thought we were about to get poisoned or something, or that was a big, entropic cloud. But no, it's perfectly safe, apparently. That armor didn't look so bad, actually. What was that called? Medium armor of the dragon? It was not that. It was the new thing I picked up. Where you at? I believe it was medium? Stone bear armor. That's medium. This massive... I'm literally wearing a bear on my back. I don't want that. Medium armor of the dragon. I guess it was this adventurer armor. Human trained only. You dicks. Doesn't even look human. Or is that not it? Maybe that's just my armor. That may just be my armor. What am I wearing? Scout coat. I thought I was wearing a mercenary coat. I guess this was just better. Yeah, buff my cunning. Okay. Yeah, I guess that just can't even be seen on me. That's sad. My human train shit is going to be interesting. That's actually even more RPG elements. They're not stripping away RPG elements for once. They're adding it in. Good for you, Bioware, even if it does mean I don't get to wear my hat. How dare you? Not hat, robe, whatever. When the compass pulses, press V to search. Searching indicates the direction of hidden objects with an additional pulse on the ground, and if you're close enough, it reveals them.
There must be something
here. Well, I mean, at the very least, that's some iron. Thanks? Cool. I guess that makes it, it's the equivalent of pressing tab, right? Although it's going to be a lot more annoying to have to hear the ding, ding, ding over and over again. I'm not going to enjoy that. But at least it exists. At least there is a way to just, highlight things. I didn't think that there was. I guess we should check inside the house, right? And continually go and loot absolutely everything I can. Oh, it's pointing me in a direction. I only just noticed that that's an arrow. Alright, cool. Is this it here? These the notes? Oh, you actually have to activate it like that? That's annoying. Return the notes to a done. I don't even get to read the notes. I don't even get to know what the hell you're doing. Oh, well, that gives me another reason to go back to the apothecary, which I definitely wanted to do anyway. Let's highlight. I want to highlight you. Hey! Set active. There we go. You can go ahead and requisition those weapons. And on the way around, I might as well... What have you found? Ah, it's on top of the big rock. I like the exploration. It's going to be really fun. I know people could consider this a fetch quest and everything. I mean, this is a fetch quest, but, being able to find all this kind of stuff. I know a lot of people get very annoyed by that. I personally... it can be annoying, but if done well, I quite actually just enjoy the feeling of, collecting resources to make my army stronger, my base better, my companions happy and everything. I genuinely enjoy shit like that. If it's just picking up endless elf fruit for no real reward, then maybe I won't like it as much as I'm saying right now, but I'm not thoroughly against it. I've heard that there are quite a few fetch quests in Inquisition, and it puts people off a lot. We'll see. We'll see how it makes me feel. For now, I'm happy to grab a shitload of iron. Even though iron isn't a particularly scary element, it's definitely not as cool as... What did he say you could find? Blighted Dragonbone? I imagine Blighted is just a curse or whatever the hell. But, I would also very much like something called Blighted Dragonbone. That sounds terrifying.